My name is Gary Tanner. I've been there a couple of years. Um, I'm not going to age myself, but I remember Dina very well, and, and we have a lot of alumni, and I remember a lot of them. Um, but just I'm going to introduce Haskell real quick, and then we'll jump in with Laura, and then I'll be back to finish up. But we're located in Lawrence, Kansas, right in the middle of the country, and we have at this time between 800 and 1,000 students each semester. 80% of our students live on campus in our residential dorms. So we are a place where you can get newly connected, your network's going, you can make new friends for lifelong friends. And I mean, we just kind of turn into a family, and you're only limited to by what you want to be part of. Um, we are federally funded university for Native American and Native Native students. And if you are one of those and you do meet our criteria, then it only costs 100 or $715 a semester. There's no tuition, no room and board. The only thing you're paying for is just some on-campus fees. And if you get Pell Grant, you get tribal funding, whatever you get above that $715, you get to keep that money. So we really give an opportunity for students and their parents or whoever's taking care of the guardian. So we try to take that pressure right off of you, and we do with our programs. But you must be a member of a federally recognized tribe to attend Haskell. So if you come to Haskell, every other person on that campus is a tribal member, so it's very unique. Um, you can learn a lot of different cultures, a lot of traditions, a lot of ideas that are different from yours. So you can definitely learn about your people. Um, we do have this year. They did hire a new president. His name is Dr. Ronald Graham, and he wants to build Haskell. He wants to grow Haskell. Um, he is putting in some programs that's going to be adding some degrees in the next few years and programs in the next few years. And he wants to grow and make Haskell more impact than it is now, like it used to be. So he's wanting to really set some really good goals for Native American education. So we're excited. Um, with that, I'm going to introduce Miss Laura Rice. She's been here at Haskell. This is her fifth year as a employee. She's got more connections from there. She's from the Bay Area in California, and she's a retention program technician. But more than that, she helps so many students, and she does a great job of helping people. So at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Laura Rice.
I'm always that person who leaves it on mute. So hello, good evening. My name's Laura Rice, or Chamiqua, and I'm Prairie Potawatomi, Kickapoo, Sac and Fox, Yurok, and Wintun. And I, like Coach Tanner said, this is my fifth year at Haskell full-time, and prior to that, I did some adjunct teaching and social work. So I made a quick little presentation to kind of give an overview. Let's see if how my screen sharing abilities are today. Okay, so we'll start. All right, can everybody see that? All right, so Haskell. Oh, it's moving faster than I wanted it to. Okay, so it's been around for quite a while, and it offers 2-year and 4-year degrees. We started offering 4-year degrees in 1993. We're in Lawrence, Kansas, which is a small city. It might feel like a big city to some. I guess it just kind of depends on where you're from, but it's a nice city. It's got a downtown area, kind of all the conveniences. Very interesting, unique weather. I'm still adjusting to it, and I've been living in Kansas about 13 years now, so still humidity still doesn't feel normal to me. And this is one of my favorite pictures, a couple of our past alumni. One of them is currently getting her master's. Here's our mission statement. And I adapted this presentation from one of our, it used to be called Vision Quest, but now it's called Haskell Seminar. But I kind of adapted this, so I wanted to give an overview of what's required to graduate. So there's different degree checklists for all our degrees, like any other college. And so you have to fill out complete general education requirements. We want everyone to come out with knowledge from different areas. And we do have a historical and contemporary Indigenous issues requirements within that. So everyone will come out of Haskell with either taking American Indian issues, history of North American Indian tribes, American Indian literature, diabetes and the Native American, and intro to tribal management. So everybody will take 2 of those classes at a minimum. Some take more and some even end up being Indigenous studies majors. So for 2-year, we offer liberal arts, which is the general education requirements and elective courses. You can kind of mix and match that how you want, and you can use those electives to work towards a 4-year program if you'd like, or just explore. Media communications, which is where you can take digital photography, news writing. You can even write for the newspaper, make some extra cash on the side too. That's kind of a nice perk, not a requirement for class, but you can and get that experience. Communication studies. So if you really enjoy public speaking or speech communication, you can take that a step further and take things such as conflict and negotiation, legal communication, and then intercultural communications. One of the requirements so is interpersonal communication and working in groups and teams. Paraprofessional education is for students who want to be in the classroom for K through 6 later. And that degree is what you have to take as your 2-year if you want to move on to the 4-year in elementary education. We don't offer a secondary education degree at this time. So it's definitely for K through 6. And their degree checklist is the one that's most ever changing. So definitely if you end up in that program, get connected to an education advisor. And then social work is our other 2-year degree that's available. And that's for Associate of Arts. And then for the Associate of Science, we have community health. So you would be learning about different health concerns on the community level, such as diabetes. There's, I think it's 24 required courses in addition to the general education requirements. Natural science. So if you end up blessed with really good math, a really good math brain, that's a great one to go into because you take trigonometry and 3 lab science courses. And often students will take that one if they plan to go to an environmental science. And then recreation and fitness management, you can learn how to really run your own health program. And it can be a useful degree for lots of different things. And then the health, sport, and exercise science degree, that one is kind of a blend of classes from community health and recreation and fitness management. And you can kind of mix and match your health, sports, and exercise science classes in there to kind of how a little bit personalized too. So those are all our 2-year degrees. You aren't required to get a 2-year degree while you're at Haskell. You can just go straight for your 4-year degree, but I think if they offer them, you really might as well because you're definitely going to meet those requirements. I look at it as a bonus, another photo op to have that awesome graduation. So I always encourage our students to petition to graduate with their 2-year degree as well, even if they're there just for their 4-year degree. And then for 3-year degrees, we have 4 different degree programs. For Bachelor of Arts, we have Indigenous and American Indian Studies. I'm a little partial to this one because my background's in Native American Studies. And so, like I said, in addition to the required courses, you're going to take a number of other Indigenous issues courses. And a lot of folks might say, well, what am I going to do with that? Man, you could do a whole lot of things with that degree. We have some in law school. We have some running different tribal programs. Really, our IAIS majors end up in a lot of different places. Business administration, and with that, you can do a tribal management emphasis. So if you want to work for your tribe or a different tribe, sometimes that can be a more ideal situation in terms of tribal politics. You can kind of go wherever you'd like and where you can get in on. So tribal management, and then management emphasis is the other one if you're more interested in, I guess, just mainstream business. The class options are a little bit different for those two. You'll end up taking a couple of tribal law and legislation classes if you take the tribal management emphasis. Environmental science, that one, you're going to be doing a lot of science lab classes, of course, and also statistics and calculus. So, and that's a really great one to take classes at KU for as well. I'll talk about the opportunity for that in a couple of slides, but you can take classes towards that degree at KU. And then elementary education, that one is for if you wanted to be a teacher in the K through 6, it's definitely very intense. I've seen those students take 18 to 19 credit hours in a semester. Whew, and do other things like work, have a part-time job, or be a part of different clubs. So they are very, very busy. And so they're taking classes such as art methods for K through 6, and a little bit of science, like at least 2 different science labs, because you have to know so many different things to teach an all-day elementary school class. So they have a lot of different requirements. I think they actually require the most classes for the 2-year degrees, the paraprofessional education one. It's usually just 60 credits, but for that particular degree, it's 65. Okay, and this is just an overview of the different requirements. I'll let somebody else handle the waiting room. Whoop. And this is, sorry, my dog's really begging to get in my lap right now, wants to be a part of the college fair. And then this is just some technical things like you have to get a C or higher in all your math and English classes to move on to the next one. So if you're still in high school, definitely take advantage of your time there to develop those skills, because it will help you in the long run to cruise through these sequences faster. And changing your major. So you can start out as a HSES major, and perhaps you change your mind to wanting to be social work. You can change that at any point. Sometimes it's a little inconvenient to change your major, like if you're in your very last semester of it, but it's almost always a possibility. Okay, and then 4-year degrees. At this point, you do have to apply to get into a 4-year program. So that's for whether you're already attending Haskell or not. So you can go to a different college for your 2-year and then transfer to Haskell for your 4-year, but you would have to apply to a 4-year program at the same time. So thinking way, way ahead there. And of course, we often hear high school students say, or maybe it was just me, I don't know, D's get degrees, or even when they go into college. That's not really true. Like at some point, like not even C's get degrees, because for example, you have to have a 2.8 cumulative GPA. So that's all your grades averaged together to get into that elementary education program. So I try to tell my students B's get degrees and A's get more money. So trying to get them to get as many A's and B's as they can. Okay, and then this is a little more info on graduation. And then there are some students who maybe planned this ahead, maybe didn't, but they might not know what they want to go into, or they haven't really set in their mind for their 2-year degree program, and they'll start out at Haskell. So for example, in liberal arts, but they decide that they want to go into nursing school. Now, Haskell doesn't have a nursing program currently, so they would have to eventually train schools to somewhere that has a Bachelor of Science in Nursing program. So in most cases, the liberal arts one is the easiest one to get your 2-year degree in if you're planning to transfer, because like I said, you can use those electives to take classes that'll help you get into those other 4-year programs at different schools. So for nursing, probably taking statistics within those electives and anatomy and physiology lab or lecture and lab. And so if there is a class that's not offered at Haskell that KU offers and there's space, you can actually, as long as you're getting those good grades, B's and up, maybe the occasional C in there, you can because it's a 2.5 cumulative GPA to qualify for this program, but you can take a class at KU for $0 tuition, which is really saving you thousands of dollars, and you just pay for books and fees, which honestly, that can be hundreds, but you might make a friend with a junior or senior student who's good at buying books, or come to my office or give me a call. I'm pretty good at that too. That's a really great way to knock out some classes that maybe Haskell doesn't offer, but KU does. So you can do that while you're at Haskell. And then let's say you really like Kansas and you're really all about humidity and Jayhawks, you can actually go to KU, even if you're not from Kansas, as long as you went to Haskell for a semester, you can go there for in-state tuition. So that saves you thousands of dollars as well. Can you tell I'm a kind of a couponer? So it has a lot of value there. And then you could actually even, if the I guess rules are still the same, if you needed to stay at Haskell one more semester than that 2-year degree, you could actually request to stay an additional semester. Yeah, you have to do everything formally so that if you're eligible for Pell, that works out too. So there's that. And then in terms of how to plan, if you're going to graduate early from your high school, or you're currently took last semester off because you already graduated, you can go ahead and apply to Haskell by November 15th to get in for spring 2021, which is the semester starts in mid-January, maybe a little later than that. And if you want to do fall, apply by June 1st. I do recommend, though, applying a bit earlier than that. I think you should set a personal deadline for around March, because the sooner you apply and know if you're in, the sooner you can send all your FAFSA information. And you could actually do your FAFSA before June anyway. But I think you want to make sure that you have that in order. We don't take new students for the summer semester. That's a question that gets asked a lot. We have them wait until fall. And then how to apply. Currently, we do snail mail. So you'll have to print out, find someone with a printer. If you don't have a printer, you can even send them the file and they could leave it outside their door for safety reasons if needed. We had to really strategize over the summer. So yeah, paper applications, US Postal Service, $10 application fee. You can pay it online and print out your receipt, or save the receipt and email it to admissions. Make sure that you order official transcripts from high school or any college, well, I guess not and any college you attended. So even if you did dual credits, make sure that you ask that college to send your transcripts to Haskell through mail. If you're able, take the ACT for, and I say if you're able because we're not requiring them to get into the spring semester. We do plan to require it for fall. We do take SAT scores too, but ACT is what's preferred. And then a copy of your CDIB or descendancy paperwork, because you have to be enrolled in or a direct descendant of a federally recognized tribe. And we have more info about that on our website. And then we also still require, even though we may be online next semester, an immunization record. And so, because we don't want to get any cooties through Zoom. No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, immunization record. This is our fall 2020 student enrollment summary. We have about 730 students. We have a lot more ladies than men at this point. And then our breakdown by class, and then our breakdown by brand new students, students who were here from the previous semester, transfer students, students readmitted, so students who had come here before and took a semester or longer break. And then here is our breakdown by tribe. So maybe try to make your tribe a record, everyone do a group apply or something. That would be cool.
Hey, Laura, thank you so much. That's a lot of information. And we're really excited to have you here with us. And I know that we're going to invite you back as well, because that's really good information and a lot of stuff that students are going to need in the future.